So the essay topic I chose for my exam is how do fish smell? And fish smell in a fairly similar way as humans do, but with a few key differences. So just like humans, fish have basically nostrils, which are called nares. And in most fish, teleosts, they have two nares at the end of their snout, and jawless fishes like lampreys and hagfish only have one, and in lampreys, it's behind the eyes, like kind of back on their head a little bit. And so instead of breathing, they move water through uh, this nostril kind of, and it doesn't connect to anything. It doesn't go back to an esophagus or lungs like we do. It just is this kind of dead end chamber called the olfactory chamber. So water comes in through one side, the in-current side, and the top is separated by a flap of skin, and water moves through and then goes out the out-current side. And they do this by a few different ways, and one of them, which most fish have, is they have cilia all along the bottom of the olfactory chamber, and the cilia kind of move the water through the chamber. Some other ways is some gills kind of use, or some fish kind of use their gills to move the water through the chamber, and they also use buccal pumping to move the water through the chamber. So once in the chamber, the water meets all the epithelial cells, and the epithelial cells are make up this epithelial layer, this thin lamellae, which is raised from the bottom of the chamber. And this thin membrane folds over on itself in kind of this circle at the bottom of the chamber, and makes this rosette. And it's generally thought that the larger the layers on the rosette, and the more layers, the greater their sense of smell. And so in the epithelium, there are receptor cells, and the receptor cells have these branched pieces to the cell called dendrites, and the dendrites reach to the top of the epithelial layer, and when water moves through, anything that a fish can pick up, molecules, amino acids, sex hormones, or sex steroids, hormones, anything like that in the water, will bind to the top of the dendrites, and this sends a signal through the receptor cell, and the receptor cell's axon is connected to the olfactory lobe. And once it goes to the olfactory lobe, it goes up the olfactory nerve to the receptor cell's axon connects to the olfactory bulb, and once this signal gets to the olfactory bulb, it goes through the olfactory nerve to the olfactory lobe, which is in the brain, and then the brain processes the signal. So that's basically how a fish's sense of smell functions. And yeah, they use their sense of smell for many things, like finding their way back to their spawning grounds, finding mates, detecting food, detecting predators, and it's very strong in a lot of fishes and very important to their survival.